Okay, for those of you that might be interested in what we're doing, why it's so hard to be a beekeeper is right now we're going through these beehives, and I'm doing this one-handed, so you're going to have to bear with me. Going through these beehives to see which ones are good for next year, or to prepare them for the winter. And so every one of these has to be looked at and determine if it's alive even. Like this one I can tell is not so good. That's not too bad. And then like these we went through, and this one I checked, and I don't know if you'll ever be able to see this, but we'll look in here. I don't know, maybe. And you'll find eggs. Maybe it was on this side. I can't tell. But there's multiple eggs in these frames, in these cells, which means that this one has what we call a laying worker. And then some of these are going to be really small. This one's not so bad. I like that one. We have to do this every yard, every hive. 1,500, I think, is what we're working on right now, and determine if they're going to be any good. Some of them we can fix. They'll have a queen, but they won't have a lot of bees. So we'll try to fix those and equalize them a little bit, give them a little bit of extra bees, and see if that'll hold them over. It's about to get cold, so there's not a lot of time left in order to figure out. So this one, it came out right at me. It usually is a sign that they're not happy. Something's not good. So we're going to look at it. I would normally have smoke. Yeah, so this one's not so great. So you can kind of see those white spots in there. Those are larvae that aren't any good. So this one has what we might call a little bit of chalk brood, which is a fungal infection. And so the way to fix it is just to get it back to healthiness. So right now it looks like it's not got a lot of food. But I can see eggs in there. Maybe get out of the light, you can see them down in those cells. There's eggs. So I've got a queen, which is good. And so we'll keep this one and see how it goes. Anyway, that's kind of what we're doing, and it takes me about 2.5 hours to get through a yard, and I'm old, and after a couple of these yards, that's about all I can handle. Of course, that's 300 colonies, and it's not just this. We'll have to feed them, and I'll show you what this one could use some help, but it's got some bees coming up. And this one I don't like at all. So this one will probably get some help if it's got a queen. So we're going to look right now. And I'll see if I can find a queen for you guys to look at. So there's one frame. That one doesn't have a queen on it, but it's got brood, which is a good sign. All this brown here, those are capped cells. And again, this one Doesn't have the healthiest, what we call a brood pattern, but there's a queen here. Just don't know where. So she could be on this frame, but I doubt it. Which means I missed her on the first two. This one's small, so I'm going to give it some extra bees from another colony and see how it responds. There she is, right there. You can kind of see her. Where did she go? Oh, I lost her. Not sure where my camera is. My finger here. I can see her. There she is, right there. And that's what we're looking for. We want an active colony. Has to have a queen. And so I know this one's going to be okay if I can make it a little bigger before it gets too cold. So anyway, that's what we're doing.